How are you doing? We are here. We are back. We got a new book because we finished our last one. And this one is The Interesting Thing That Happened at Perfect Acres Inc. by Barbara Brooks Wallace. Let's get it. Scott, are you ready for your inner child healing?
I am.
Oh, me too. Okay, well, let's get it. We're going to put Oreo Jr. wherever the hell in that old house, and we're going to get started. I'm going to see if I can read through these glasses. That's the gag and the tea. Okay, let's get it, y'all. Why can't I go out and play now? Perfecta D. Jones asked. 5:30 is only 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away is not 5:30, replied Mrs. Jones. The rule is that you can play outside exactly between 5:30 and 6:15 p.m. She paused, then decided to add, and only on the west side of the house. I hope you never forget that, Perfecta. Mrs. Jones spoke with the weariness of having to repeat this practically every day for almost all of Perfecta's teen years, and being certain that she would have to repeat it again the very next day. Well, ma'am, you should have named your damn child Perfecta, period. We can end the book right there.
There you go.
Okay? Stop naming y'all kids weird stuff. They got to fill out college applications and job resumes. Perfecta scowled. I hate this place. And I hate all the dumb rules. Girl, me too. People with HOAs say that too. Dumb or not, said Miss Jones, Mr. Snoop isn't going to change his mind about them, and there's nothing we can do about it. We could move, said Perfecta. Period. Girl, we can end the book right here. We could move, said Perfecta. Perfecta might be the smartest one in this book. She got the most common sense.
Yeah.
And you know what they say. It's not that common because now it's become a superpower. No, we cannot because no, we can't. That don't even make sense. Girl, try again. Going from one house to another isn't as quite as simple as scooting from one chair to another in the game of musical chairs. That is true. And we certainly won't find another house to buy near your father's work that we could afford the way we can this one. And, said Mrs. Jones with a deep sigh, as I've told you over and over, we're very lucky that Mr. Snoot even allows us to stay. I don't see what's lucky about living in this house. That's no more exciting than a shoebox. Perfecta flung back. All the houses in Perfect Acres, except one, are just nothing but rows of shoeboxes. Girl, if they're the right kind of shoe in there, I'm down. Okay, if there's a red bottom in there, I'm here. A cute boot, I'm there. Yes, but they're. Mrs. Jones paused a moment, as if she had to remember what they were. Girl, you named your child Perfecta, so we know you don't got no imagination. They're sensible and practical. Anyway, you know very well that's not what I meant by lucky. We're lucky because no pets or children are allowed to live in Perfect Acres. Period. They said we don't know nothing that we got to take care of. Period. Children and pets have to be taken care of. We don't want that here. Period.
Yeah.
Scott would not be allowed at Perfect Acres
Oh,
Inc.
no.
because he likes to bring all the pets over there. Not the children, just the pets. Mr. Snoop considers them to be nonsensical, like he wasn't no damn child, impractical, and messy and dirty as well, I'm afraid. I mean, I agree. But Mr. Snoot over there acting like he wasn't no child before, sir. What did you do? Spring fully formed from the head of Zeus? Like Athena? Like, sir, do you think that? Perfecta asked, biting her lip. After all, she knew her arrival had been a mistake. Child, y'all giving these kids complexes. So So y'all told the little 10-year-old girl that y'all didn't want her, that she was an accident. She gonna need therapy. So it had always been a great worry to her, thinking her parents might feel the same way as Mr. Snoop. I mean, girl, they told you that you was an accident, so they probably do, child. Okay. They live in there, they forcing you to live there. Of course not, replied Mrs. Jones quickly. She lied. She lied, sis. She lied to you, sis. But Mr. Snoop is the one who matters when it comes to living here. Girl, not you. Mr. Snoop matters. say your child don't matter without saying your child don't matter, ma'am. Okay. Why, you have no idea how terrible it was when you were born. And this girl gonna need all the therapy. Girl, she said, you don't know how hard it was when you was born, girl. Ain't nobody want you here. And Miss Jones gave another tired sigh. But you know that story. Perfecta glowered. She did indeed know that story. It had been told to her so many times that she practically had it memorized. Yeah, and got a complex from it, honey. It seems that when Mr. and Mrs. Jones applied for a house in Perfect Acres, Inc., they had no children. Then, as things have a way of happening, sometime after they moved into their new house, they unexpectedly produced a baby girl. Y'all put it in the comment section. What does unexpectedly mean? Because I don't remember last story I said people be just saying words. But what they're saying, like the definition of what they think the word is and what the real definition is aren't the same. How do y'all didn't get sex ed class or what here?
Well, maybe they had problems in the past and were told they couldn't continue.
That's when you conceive. That's when it happens. Okay. This crazy. So y'all didn't want y'all child. Because y'all want to stay at perfect, because y'all want to be close to the job. Period. Okay, that's what they saying. Naturally, there was no way to keep the news of her arrival a secret because they probably would have did it if they could. Especially since Mr. Drooper P. Smith, child, his name is Droopert. Told y'all stop naming these kids weird things. Now look at him. He got a complex and he don't like kids because his mama named him Droopert. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, anyway. Drooper P. Snoot, manager and major shareholder of Perfect Acres Inc., lived right next door to the Joneses. And also, naturally, the first thing he did was try to return their money and take back the house. Take back the night. But assaulted by a lot of groveling on the part of Mr. Jones and a bucket full of tears on part of Mrs. Jones, Mr. Snoop grudgingly agreed to let them stay. Here we go. Here's the lie. I lied too. Let me tell y'all what I did when I got pregnant with my child. I brought all white furniture and glass tables because I just knew my child was gonna be an angel. Now let's see how these people think their child gonna be an angel too. Our new little girl will be no trouble at all, cried Mrs. Jones. Ever, added Mr. Jones fervently. Snorted Mr. Snoop. See that she isn't. At which point, Mr. and Mrs. Jones began to wonder how they could keep their promise right, because this is a child, honey. Children do what they want. Was there some kind of insurance a person could take out against fires, floods, and bad behavior? No. They might come up with the idea of a suitable name. Might not a baby named Grace or Patience or Prudence live up to that? No, just because you name it, that don't mean it's going to be that. Okay. My name should have been Heavenly. Wasn't it worth a try? It happened that at that moment, Mr. Jones was reading a book called Bleak House, in which a gentleman, Mr. Turveydrop, did nothing but specialize in having perfect department. Perfect department. Why not? Exclaimed Mr. Jones. Lovely, said Mrs. Jones, because she just as crazy as this man is. But wouldn't perfecta departmenta be more suitable for a girl? So their baby girl was saddled with this name, a name that had the added benefit, thought their parents, of having Mr. Snoot think that they also named the baby in honor of his housing development. It would have been easier to just go find another house, in my opinion, but that's just me. But what do I know? I have buttons for eyes. But as Perfecta knew well, none of this had any or made any difference. Some days she had perfect deportment and was graceful and patient and prudent as well. Other days she hadn't and wasn't. In other words, she was simply a normal child. Yes, honey, they do what they want. But even with perfect behavior, and no matter what housing development she was named for, she knew she would have been the subject of the deepest suspicion and dislike on part of Mr. Snoot. His hatred of children and all things childlike appeared to be so enormous and unreasonable that Perfector truly felt he could never have even been a child. Girl, yes, he was. Everybody was. Okay. Everybody was a child. Even Benjamin Button was a child. Sometimes she wondered if any Perfect Acres Inc. grown up who lived in Mr. Snoot's shadow could have been a child. They were such a cheerless lot. From the day that he agreed to let her stay, a number of rules began to enter the book of Perfect Acres Inc. I wrote it down on a billboard because who the hell I learned from the Hitchhiker's Guide not to try to pronounce some of these words, okay? Such as the play outside only between 5:30 and 6:15. This acronym here, because I'm not about to be sitting up here trying to pronounce this. How would you pronounce this, Scott? Scott gonna pronounce this first one up top.
Saf.
Okay, period. That's what it is. Rule. And the playing outside only on the west side of the house, the second one here. On the west side of the house, rule, what would you say that? This second one here. Y'all can practice at home too. This is not just a reading. This is not just story time, baby. This is a vocabulary time too. Okay. And the first thing that we said, of course, because that was between Mr. Snoot's nap and dinner hour. Sir, you only take an hour for all that? When he didn't require absolute quiet. And the second one, this one right here, was of course because Mr. Snoot's house was on the west end of the Joneses' house. Okay, period. I'm gonna put this back down so we keep going on with these readings. But we're gonna bring that board back up because you see there's a number of them.
Yeah.
Because my girl, she ain't got no exciting life, honey. All she got is them acronyms to rebel. Okay. Well, there's no rule that says we have to like any of it, Perfecta said fiercely to her mother, or Mr. Snoot either. You better rebel, girl. You better rebel. We're not going to take it. No, we're not going to take it anymore, said Perfecta. Girl, when you get 18, change that damn name too, girl. You ain't got to take that. Okay. With that, she snatched up a book from a little bookshelf near the stove and started for the back door. Girl, you better slam that door too, girl. Show them who boss. Perfecta, what book is that you have? Mrs. Jones asked at once. Perfecta held up a somewhat tattered, well-thumbed copy of Mother Goose. Girl, you better come to our Friday Fairy Tale Fridays, honey. You can come over here, girl. You ain't got to deal with this man. Being 10 years old, she didn't have to look at this book much anymore, but she loved it dearly nonetheless. Holding it and reading the funny, familiar rhymes had a definite soothing effect. And right now, Perfecta needed to be soothed. Now, I'm gonna just tell y'all the way she feels about like her Mother Goose book is how I feel about a couple of my little childhood's books. That's why we're reading them again. Gave me a little feel good. We're healing our inner child today, y'all. We rebelling. We rebelling. Okay, anyway. Oh dear, said Mrs. Jones. Must you take that book outside? What if Mr. Snoot sees it? Girl, look. Perfect. At this point, if you want to run away, girl, just run. Because these people crazy. Like, girl, can you do nothing right? Jesus. She didn't ask to be here. Perfecta groaned. Is there a rule about what books I can read? Not yet, replied Mrs. Jones. Girl, y'all ain't got no backbone for y'all children. Glancing nervously over her shoulder. But Mother Goose is one of the children's books Mr. Snoot especially hates. Along with the fairy tale books and all the Oz books and all the. You don't need to make a list, Perfecta, Mrs. Jones interrupted. I know about the fairy tales and the rest. Anyway, Mr. Snoot told us that he decidedly hoped we would never stuff your head with such nonsense. It sounded like a threat. Oh, y'all can't see me blinking. Girl, now we see why you shouldn't have had no kids. Cause girl, anyway. Okay, so let me get this board because here we go with these words again. Okay, so this is the next word she made right here. Scott, what that say?
Rhubarbs.
Okay, period. Reading outside only books approved by Snoop rule. What next? Gas perfect. I just added that extra one on for like. It sounds like it's decompressing of stress. Dropping the book on the shelf, she flung herself out of the house, too angry to notice her mother seemed as unhappy as she was. No, she not, because girl, you wouldn't be following all these rules. You'd be telling him where to stuff it. But that's just me. Well, at least her mother didn't need to worry about her mind in the first rule, on the South Side rule. Okay. After all, she didn't want to play right under Mr. Snoot's nose any more than he wanted her there. Her footsteps stomped furiously down the cement path at the back of the house, leaning to the west side. It just says thump, thump, thump. So I just figured I would do it and she just rattle it. Because when you angry, things just rattle.
Yeah.
Then there was absolute silence. For Perfecta now stood with her elbows on the fence, quietly watching a certain vacant house that sat directly across the street. She's rebelling. She's looking at that vacant house like, is it a trap house or not? It was the one house in Perfect Acres, Inc. that had not been designed or built by Mr. Snoot. Someone else had done that a long, long time ago. Long before anyone had even thought about Perfect Acres, Inc., period. The house had once sat all by itself out in the countryside, surrounded only by stately elm and oak and willow trees, billowing pink azaleas and lilac lavender bushes, and a magnificent brick wall garden in the back. And despite its peeling shutters, neglected garden, and a broad veranda grown tipsy with age, it remained a splendid old house. With its towering slate roof, chimney of gray cobblestones lumping and bumping their way up the walls, bay windows of tiny diamond-shaped panes of glass, its cupolas and and towers that look as if they were made of Christmas gingerbread. I don't know what all them words are, baby. I never heard of them, and we not gonna repeat them here. Get the book. Y'all know, get the book. Go on Amazon. Go to your local used bookstore. Get this book, baby. It's out of print. Get it. The house had once been lived in, but it had sat empty, deserted for as long as anyone could remember. Its windows were like lost spectacles waiting for someone to look through them once again, like the ones I'm wearing. Waiting. That's what the whole house seemed to be doing. To Perfecta, it even appeared to have expressions. This had nothing to do with how the weather affected his looks. Sun flashing off his steep roof or rain falling in his dreary fat drops from its eaves. No, quite on its own, it looked sad and lonely. Oh, and even at times a little angry. But more than anything else, it looked deep and mysterious, waiting. Perfecta was absolutely certain it held a secret. Girl, it can if you wanted to. It probably is a trap house. That's probably the secret. It's a trap house. Don't go in there, girl, by yourself. And she was determined someday to find it out. She was also absolutely certain that Mr. Snoot hated the old house. Why else would he have hired expensive lawyers to find out who owned it so he could buy it and tear it down? Mr. Snoot, Mr. Snoot is a big old hater. Let me just foreshadowing for this book. Mr. Snoot is a hater, okay? He's the biggest hater. They never had been able to find it though anyway. So then Mr. Snoot had gone around with a petition for everyone on the block to sign, determined that the authorities do something about the house. That hadn't worked either because two people refused to sign it. But five very important looking authorities came around making notes anyway. However, they must have taken notes home and tore them up because nothing more ever happened. Okay, that house is going to be there, baby. Abandoned with a bunch of, fiends running in and out. No, I'm kidding. That's not what was going on. It's just an empty house. So the house remained, and Snoop could do nothing, not a thing about buying it, tearing it down, or replacing it with four of his boring perfect acre ink boxes. It clearly made him furious. It just as clearly made him furious that Perfecta spent much of her that acronym, leaning on her fence, staring at the house. Girl, you really need to do something. Like, go play hopscotch.
Play outside only between 6:15 or 5:30 and 6:15.
Yeah, not even an hour. Yeah. Recess is longer than that. Anyway, she knew this because he so often managed to be out there and around at the same time spying, and anyone could guess his thoughts. Why was she being so deadly quiet? Being deadly quiet could often be as bad as being boisterous and noisy. Worse. I feel the same way though. When kids are too quiet, I get scared. I be like, what y'all up there doing? What y'all doing? What wicked thoughts might be running through her nasty little child's mind? Did she know something about the old house that Mr. Snoot did not? Sir, she's a kid. If your lawyers couldn't figure it out, she can't. Chin rested on her hands at the fence. Perfecta was quieter than ever. For today, the old house had an expression different from any it had had before. Perfecta couldn't describe this expression to anyone, but she knew quite certainly, almost as if the old house had whispered it to her, that something was about to happen there. Something that had never happened before. Okay, girl, what's going to happen? Scott, what's going to happen? What do y'all think going to happen? Put it in the comment section. Could it be what the house had been waiting for so long? She heard footsteps coming down the sidewalk, but barely turned her head to look. Anyway, it was only stuffy, stuck-up Miss Plimpleton and solemn, shy Professor Button returning to their homes across the street. Professor Button, as usual, walked a good 15 feet behind Miss Plimpleton, carefully never getting any closer. Miss Plimpleton and Professor Button lived on either side of the old house and were the two people who refused to sign Mr. Snoot's petition. This, thought Perfecta, was probably because if someone took the house away, they might have to speak to one another. Okay, they don't like each other. They beefing. They probably need to talk to each other. Then they could be in a relationship, and then there could be 2 kids. Y'all need to have a baby. Miss Plimpleton scurried up her path to her house, after which Professor Button sped up and then scurried up to the path to his house. Both doors were open and then quickly shut with a decided. It was as if 2 frightened rabbits were racing to hide in their holes.
Oh.
This strange behavior was as much a mystery to Perfecta as the secret of the old house. It's not. These people just don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be bothered. Because I'm like that. She could no more see inside those 2 people to discover what they might be thinking as she could see inside the house. Something she longed to do. Magic spectacles was what she needed. Once, when she was a tiny girl, she borrowed her father's huge horn-rimmed spectacles, thinking they might be magic. But all they had done was make the old house dance before her eyes. She's serious about this house now.
Yeah, she is.
She now knew better than to try that again. When the street fell silent once again, Perfecta turned her full attention back to the house. Then suddenly, she drew her arms around herself and shivered. Tap, tap, tap. These were only the faintest of sound coming from the sidewalk this time, but Perfecta had heard them and knew without looking what they meant. Oh, Lord. Even if she hadn't heard the sounds, she would have guessed from the way the old house seemed to stiffen and its windows grew darker that this was Mr. Snoot out on another spy mission. Oh, Lord. Girl, get your pepper spray, get your mace, get your stun guns. Though it was a beautiful sun-warmed day, he was dressed in a rusty black jacket buttoned up around his neck. Girl, yeah, anybody who buttons all the way up to the top, just for me, I don't know about anybody else, I think them people crazy. Share your thoughts in the comment section. I could be wrong, but it just says it's a little unsettling for me. That's just me, though. Anyway. Black trousers flapped around his thin ankles, brushing the tops of his curious, old-fashioned buckles on his shoes. Sir, you don't like kids because you can't get no woman. That's why you pretending you probably do want kids, sir. Me think the lady protests too much. Okay. Oof. But you got to change your style, sir. You got to step it up. And his vinegar sour face and long, sharp nose were all but hidden under the wide, pulled down brim of a dismal, dusty black hat. Oh, Lord. All in all, he looked as if he had been dug out of someone's attic where he had been stored for a very long time. Oh, my. He saddled down the street, sneaking sharp sidelong glances at Perfecta. Sir, you over there like, sir, are you on drugs? Are you okay? Anyway. While pretending to examine the pavement, Perfecta pretended just as hard not to see him. The truth was that for all her brave shouting at her mother about him inside the house, she was deathly afraid of him. Her heart set like a lump in her throat the whole time he was slinking up and down the street. Perfecta came close to running away from the fence and hurtling back into the house as she had on the same occasion when Mr. Snoot appeared. But no, this time she refused to do that. Her little wristwatch told her that she had at least 10 minutes left on her, what's the word, Scott, on the south side, for 15 minutes, 5:15, whatever.
That play.
Yeah, that.
Play outside only between 5:30 and 6:15.
What's the acronym?
Okay. POOB.
Okay, okay. And she wasn't going to give that up, especially not today when she had a strange feeling that the old house needed her. Girl, they need somebody to get in the kitchen and cook or what here. And until Mr. Snooze came up with a Oh, girl, did I write this one down? I didn't write this one down. It's POOBIFF. A peeping outside only backwards if facing forward rule. Girl, that's a lot.
Wow.
Okay. What you got, eyes in the front and the back of your head? You like the presidency from the Hitchhiker's Guide or what? Or something equally ridiculous. She wasn't breaking any rules. And then Perfecta saw Mr. Snoot do something she had never seen him do before, ever. He raised his fist and shook it angrily at the house. Girl, get your taser, get your mace. Because he needs to be calmed down. After that, he finally tapped away. Where? Curiosity got the better of Perfecta. She leaned so far over the fence to look down the street that she nearly toppled into her head. Mr. Snoot had disappeared, but a telescope, sly and suspicious as his sharp nose, was poking out from his living room window. Sir, you ain't got nothing to do. Maybe you need to adopt or foster some. Maybe you need to foster some children. I bet you if he did that, he would feel better. Like, usually it's the thing they say they don't want that they really want, but he just can't attain it, is usually what that means. So maybe foster some children, maybe foster some animals or something. You need something else to do. Directed right at the old house. So now Perfecta knew for certain that she already suspected that Mr. Snoot too believed that something was going to happen there at the house. But what? But when? And who would know about it first and be able to do something about it if something was to be done? Her, whatever that acronym, Scott, what's that acronym? Just pronounce anything. Pudubata ended. Perfecta tore back into her own house and right into her room. There, she instantly threw up the window that faced the old house, and with her chin once more resting on her hands, she went right on staring at it. After all, there was no. Ooh, I didn't write this word down either. POOBWAF, a peeking out of the bedroom window, absolutely forbidden rule, and nothing to say she couldn't keep a vigil there forever if necessary. She's on the case, y'all. She's Sherlock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That was chapter 1. You know, we're gonna keep going, see where this adventure takes us. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be cute. I love this book.
nice.
Anyway, what did you guys learn? Put it down in the comment section from this one chapter. Scott, what did you learn?
If your name is Snoot, you're probably not a jolly fella.
No. If you let me take my glasses off so y'all can get a good look at me. Stop naming y'all children crazy stuff. Unless you're a celebrity and you super rich like Beyonce and Jay-Z, you can name your children Blue Ivy, or I think Gwyneth Paltrow named her child Apple. Unless you super rich and got generational wealth, don't do it. Because look at what happened. This man went crazy because his mama named him. What was his name? I forget what his name was, but it was ridiculous. Okay. And now this little girl name is Perfecta because his mama named him, I think it was Drooper.
Yeah. Something.
Don't be named. Stop doing it. These children gotta go to college, they gotta fill out resumes there, and they gotta fill out job resumes. And if I see a name Drooper, this swipe left. Period. I'm kidding, y'all. I'm not HR. But I'm just saying there are people that are HR that think that. Okay, well, we're gonna end it there, guys. Did you have anything left, Scott?
Nothing else today.
Okay, well, we're gonna end it there, guys. It went a little long because I had to get this first chapter in. It should get shorter going forward, and we're gonna be back tomorrow, of course, with our It's a Super Scary Saturday Sleepover, and we're gonna keep getting into this book. So with that, we're gonna end this live. As always, guys, we enjoyed having you guys here, and we hope you guys enjoyed being here with us. Make sure you guys go ahead, like, share, subscribe, check out some other videos, some other shorts, some lives, all that fun stuff. And with that, we're going to bid you guys adieu. So, from wherever we are, even when we're just sitting for our 45 minutes staring at an old abandoned house, to wherever you guys are, peace, love, and happiness. And we'll see you guys later. Skinny, get it. Bye.